There's some things to talk about from NFL honors.
Things to talk about with that show. I don't think it's a hot take to say it's not getting better.
You know what the best part of the show was?
You tell me.
Bob Odenkirk as the Pope.
There you go.
Right. That was Odenkirk, right?
I didn't know if that was Odenkirk. I literally did not watch it. I saw the clips afterwards, and then I read the list of who won, and that's it. I did see it, Sergeant. I did. I think because back in, what was that, after the 2013 season, the Randall Cobb 4th down one against the Bears in the last regular week. That one was the one that won. So now the Bears have evened it up. Matthew Stafford not only winning MVP, but we'll talk about that too. Also announced that he is going to be coming back next season. So we'll see Matthew Stafford again. So he's not going to be retiring. There was a few that weren't a surprise at all, right? And it was like, okay, yeah, this makes it. Myles Garrett, winning unanimously. That makes a whole lot of sense, right? He broke the sack record, going to win that one. Then there was a few snafus with the presenters. I don't know why we can't learn names. And I'm not even talking about Drewski on that one, because that one was obviously intentional and the joke just didn't land. But we got Mike Vrabel's name wrong. Of course, the infamous Steven Stefanski from a couple years ago. Here's one thing that I'm slightly qualified for. I can give you the entire rundown on how that show works. And because this is what happened. So the day before I went to rehearsal, I was the only presenter that was there. And I didn't know that I was presenting either. And they were like, have you been given the script? And I said, no. And they said, oh. And then they gave me the script where I had one line saying that I do hate the Vikings, right? The day of, and by day of, I mean literally 5 minutes before, the presenters come up, they're handed a tablet, and you swish the tablet here, you just go move that, and then you see the name. So you got maybe 5 minutes to learn the name.
Yeah.
But there was no phonetics. There was no here's how you sound it out. So I can see that it's a little bit difficult. But I would assume that maybe, I don't know, there's a little prep, there's a little research, or at least knowing, hey, this is how you say this person's name.
It should, knowing that there's going to be presenters who might not be super familiar with the NFL or the players, the coaches. Yep. So it was Tiffany Haddish, right? That said Mike Vrabel, called it Mike Vrabel when Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year.
Oh, Mike Vrabel, yeah.
As somebody who has butchered his fair share of names, I actually I get it. But yeah, it's like, hey, before that person goes on, these are or just tell them who fucking wins, because they know at that point. Be like, Mike Vrabel's going to win. His name is Mike Vrabel. Or just say, here are the 5 nominees. It's Mike Vrabel. It's Liam Cohen. It's these, have somebody just go over that with them. And that would ease, one pain point. But
Brandon, they don't even have to do that, right? It literally is one name that's on the tablet. That's it. That's all that is there. And it just says name. Listen, it said Kevin Stefanski a couple years ago, and Steven was still the one who won. So
sure. I think they should just push a button, and it does that auto read where it's winner is Mike Vrabel. It's like your computer when it tells you how to pronounce something. Let's just have that. Let's just do it that way. Also, 2 hours to basically go through 8 awards seems egregious. They do the Hall of Famers in there, so they do that part of it, which is cool. But yeah, it takes a while to get through 8 awards.
It's a little bit, and again, I mean, it's not getting better, and I don't think it needs to take up a full 2 hours. But I think you are seeing the league trying to make it last 2 hours.
Yeah,
right? It's just here's the thing.
They are milking that show for all it's worth, Tom.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is how farmers milk their dogs.
I don't know if that's how it's. Also, you got super blurry. I have to upgrade. We all have to upgrade.
Yeah.
Thanks. Did I win MVP? I thought it was Matthew Stafford, but let's start off with MVP, and let's talk about that, because there's a little bit of backlash, a little bit of some angry internet folks, because the
Patriots fans. There's angry Patriots.
It's the Patriots. Yeah. Matthew Stafford does win MVP, which was kind of expected, especially after he got the All-Pro nod and Drake Maye did. It was like, okay, this is usually an indicator on where things are going to go. but it was very, very close because Matthew Stafford got 24 votes and Drake Maye got 23 votes.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think those are the exact numbers.
Yeah, it was Josh Allen got 2, I believe.
So hold on, I'll get the exact.
And Justin Herbert got 1. Voted for by our friend Sam Monson.
So yeah, Matthew Stafford 24, Drake Maye 23, Josh Allen 2, and Justin Herbert 1. Yeah, so exactly it was a very, very close MVP race. And so, of course, after this comes out, everyone goes, well, wait a minute, who voted for Justin Herbert? And so the way that the MVP noms work, by the way, and I think this is a very important point, and Sam wound up clarifying this as well, is that they don't just send you the list of like, oh, here are the 5 people that you can vote for. So you just vote, and then those 5 people are the amount of people who got actual votes. Here, Herbert gets 1, and I think I don't think that Justin Herbert was the MVP this year, so I disagree there. But I don't know, man. MVP, I've been complaining about for years. You've been complaining about for years because it's the quarterback award, right? It doesn't matter whether, Saquon Barkley has a cajillion yards or CMC has the best season, or it doesn't matter, right? So I think that Sam justified it enough to be like, yeah, this is why I think he would do that. And obviously, it doesn't look good in the eyes of Patriots fans because Drake Maye would have then tied Matthew Stafford for MVP voting. But you know what? You can hang your hat on? Drake Maye's in the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe he's in the Super Bowl, guys. You could go win on Sunday, and then you're not going to really care about this a whole lot.
I think Justin Herbert should have won.
You think he should have won MVP?
It's the only way Chargers fans are ever going to win anything.
That's tough.
Boom. Roasted. Dude, I respect Sam coming out and saying, I was the man who voted for Justin Herbert. Because first, that takes some balls. That takes some balls. When you can gauge the temperature of Twitter, and it is red hot, and people want to burn you down for voting for Justin Herbert. It was just meme after meme of the one Herbert vote, and Sam had the courage to stand up and say, I did it. So respect. And I actually kind of get his point too, because late in the season, watching Justin Herbert, and we talked about it a few times on the show.
I'm sorry.
Saying that, like, I thought Justin Herbert was playing some of his best football at the quarterback position.
Sure.
Like, what he was doing in the circumstances he was playing under, I thought was wildly impressive. Now, this voting process happens before the playoffs. I think obviously the playoffs didn't do him any favors there. Had he played really well in the playoffs and won a playoff game or two, people might be a little more, convinced that you could make a case for Justin Herbert. But I agree that I think Herbert played some of his best football based on having 0 offensive line. And it's not just, it's like, it was one of the worst offensive lines in years and years. I get that part of it. Now, the way everybody looks at MVP, in no world is anybody thinking of Justin Herbert as an MVP this season, so I understand the criticism of it. And if I were going to pick a guy, I'd probably say, I think Matthew Stafford was the MVP.
Yeah.
And I think what gets so stupid about this award is that if you say you think Matthew Stafford was the MVP, people just want to draw a line, and they want to say, you're saying he's the MVP, that means you think Drake Maye sucks. It's like, no, that's not what anybody's saying either. I'm saying Stafford was maybe just a tiny bit better than Drake Maye this year. Just a tiny bit. And I think that's how most people look at it. Even if you think Drake Maye was the most valuable player in the entire NFL this year compared to Matthew Stafford, you're like, yeah, probably just by a little bit. And it was the same when we did this exact same shit when it was Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. It's like, oh, you hate Josh Allen, you hate Lamar Jackson. Then it's like, no, they were both really fucking good, and it was hard. And I think that it's close, and the voting's close on those two guys. I think that's actually nice for both players. They have John Hamm hosting, which is great. I love John Hamm. Mad Men, I am currently rewatching again. I'm in season 3 of Mad Men again.
Don Draper's behind you.
Got me an autographed John Hamm picture.
It's true. I tried to get him to sign a piece of ham. He wouldn't do it, though. I also didn't have a piece of ham readily available.
There is no room worse to make jokes in than the NFL honors every year.
Yeah.
There's only, in my recent memory, there's only two guys who have gone out there and the audience actually got behind in terms of their opening monologue. And that was Steve Harvey and Keegan-Michael Key, I believe. They put John Hamm out there. They give him a bunch of jokes to start the show, and you're just not going to get laughs in the room. And if you are not, like Peyton Manning went out there, did the same thing, and he kind of got laughs from players. John Cena got no laughs from anybody. Like putting somebody out there that's, I don't know, not a comedian that players like, they're fucked. They're not. I'm like, oh man, he's dying up there. And I was like, some of these jokes are fine. So they got to figure that out.
But it's also, it's what you said too. There has to be an overlap, right? Where it's like, it's somebody who knows the product really well.
And I think John Hamm knows the NFL really well, but I don't think John Hamm is somebody the NFL knows really well.
That's very fair. They're like, you're in that dancing meme that's going around everywhere, huh?
Yeah, you were on that Apple show. Was that all you ever did?
You were in a show? That Apple show that he's on now.
Yeah, that show was pretty good.
That's
right. It's no Mad Men, but it was pretty good.
It's not Mad Men.
Yeah. So I'm like, dang, whoever they put out there is just going to die, basically. Also, the NFL needs to tell the players in there it's okay to laugh at the jokes. Like, they brought in the 49ers electrical substation. And everybody's like, boo. Ah. The jet sucking. You couldn't laugh at the jet sucking. Like that was another one in there. And then the presenters, they had Drewski out there, and it was for JSN. And his joke did not land. No. And he's getting roasted.
And he's next to Barry Sanders.
He's next to Barry Sanders.
And Barry Sanders is like.
So there's people who think that mispronouncing JSN's name intentionally is disrespectful to JSN, that Drewski was making it about himself.
Sure.
And I think if you've got a comedian presenting an award, they're always going to do that. They're always going to try and get a laugh at some point in the process of handing over the award. The joke did not land. No. It did not land at all. But it was relatable because the first time I saw JSN's name come in that draft class, I was like, I do not want to make a mistake saying Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I said, I probably went 9 months, Tom.
JSN.
I said, JS, not going to say that last name for 9 months.
Just gotta spell it out. You just gotta go in there. You gotta look up highlights from the broadcasters in college. Yes. That's how I learn it. And I'm just like, well, how do they pronounce it? And that's but it's a difficult. But dude, Drewski wasn't even. Again, Drewski, what he do is intentional, right? Joke didn't land. Criticize him for the joke. Move on with our lives. But JSN literally came out because it was on. I forget who was. I think it was Cooper Kupp that was getting interviewed, like on Radio Row. And the person who was interviewing Cooper Kupp didn't know how to pronounce JSN's name. And he's just like, man, I got to start doing, JSN's like, I got to start doing more work out here because either say JSN or he spelled it out phonetically of like, this is how, and it's really not hard. And that I have more criticism towards. Like if you are an interviewer, like on Radio Row, like you are in the end, you can't say a player's name. Like, brother, what are we doing out here?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like this is your job. This is what you're supposed to do. So that's
you either. I think sports fans are in this weird category where I think there's a section of people who take these awards too seriously.
Sure.
And I get that for the player themselves to earn these awards, that is a big deal for them. Like it's reflective of how good they were for the season. Absolutely. But then you try and do an award show where you try to keep it lighthearted and entertaining. And it's just like those two things never fully can mesh together, you know? Well, that's any of these award shows. Like the best award shows were when Ricky Gervais just came out and shit on everybody. Like when he was just ruthless as the presenter and the host.
Like I'm destroying every one of these shows.
I'm like, and people, there's people who are uncomfortable with how hard he went. I'm like, I love this. Or you get the presenter who's fun, who can make the jokes and people rock with.
Like Conan O'Brien, who's been asked to host the Oscars like 18 times.
Yeah, Conan's great. But like, it's a weird pairing because it's people's life work in some scenarios. It's their year's worth of work. And we want it to be fun and entertaining and laugh, but then we don't want to laugh too much.
We don't want to laugh. We want to laugh too much.
Yeah, it's an impossible thing to do well.
It is.